One of the most iconic scenes in Hunter x Hunter is the invasion of the palace during the Chimera Ant arc. In this scene, there is a contradiction that has been debated by fans for many years. It is the moment when Killua sees Zeno's dragon dive raining down from the sky and immediately understands this is Grandpa's technique. The question that arises here is simple. Why did Killua, who did not even know of the existence of Nen until the Heaven's Arena arc, know about Zeno's Nen ability, Dragon Dive? To simply say he saw it a long time ago does not align with Killua's upbringing or the established setting that he was ignorant of Nen. Today, we will connect all the possibilities, the Lumi's needle, the blank memories, and the hidden footsteps after the 288th Hunter exam, to unravel the story of the curse placed on a boy named Killua and his liberation from it. The Lumi's needle, a device for altering thought and memory. First, the biggest key to solving this contradiction is a Lumi's needle. The Lumi's needle. It is perhaps the deepest and most terrifying core element when discussing the character of Killua. To begin with, this needle, implanted by a Lumi into Killua's brain stem, is an extremely sophisticated wedge of a curse created by manipulation Nen. Its basic command was very simple: do not fight an enemy unless you have a 100% chance of winning, and prioritize your own life above all else. At first glance, this looks like a distorted, overprotective brotherly love to ensure that Killua, the next head of the family, does not die. However, the true horror of this needle lies not just in restricting behavior, but in physically and mentally tampering with Killua's thought circuits themselves. As Bisky pointed out in the story, there was an inexplicable misalignment in Killua's movements that deviated from his true ability. When facing a strong enemy, the Lumi's voice would echo in Killua's brain. You are a killer. You cannot have friends. You will betray them someday. This obsessive compulsion, bordering on auditory hallucination, not only withered Killua's spirit but also dulled his reflexes, inhibiting optimal combat actions. In other words, while the needle was inserted, Killua was constantly fighting in an incomplete state, as if stepping on the accelerator while slamming on the brakes. The sealed sister and the memories of Nen. And if we add a deeper analysis regarding the function of this needle, it is its role as a memory sealing device. When Killua pulled the needle out himself during the Chimera Ant arc, he remembered the existence of his sister, Aluka, whom he had completely forgotten until then. The power of Nanika, dormant within Aluka, was clearly an aberrant, special power, and an uncontrollable risk even for the Zoldyck family. Illumi and Silva likely needed to erase memories of Aluka from Killua's mind at the same time they imprisoned her. What is important here is that recognizing the power of Nanika and knowing the concept of Nen abilities are extremely closely linked. For Killua in his childhood, who witnessed Nanika's power, the existence of a mysterious power, that is, aura, must have been an ordinary part of daily life. If they erased only Aluka from Killua's memory but left the memory of Nen, the risk would arise that he would eventually reach the existence of Aluka through the question, what was that mysterious power? That is why it is thought that Illumi's needle placed a powerful protection over Killua's entire region of childhood memories to hide the existence of Aluka. Memories related to Nen and aura, memories of the dragon dive shown by his grandfather Zeno, and memories of playing with Nanika. By pushing all of these into an unrecognizable realm, they reset Killua as a mere assassin boy who knows nothing of Nen. If we think this way, it explains why he was unaware of the existence of Nen until he met Wing at the Heaven's Arena. The blank period, the theory of homecoming after the 288th exam. However, the sealing of memories by the needle alone cannot fully explain everything. Killua's reaction during the palace invasion was too vivid. It was full of conviction, as if he had seen the technique very recently. This is where the theory regarding the blank time after the 288th Hunter exam emerges. During the Greed Island arc, Killua left the game once to take the Hunter exam. Killua knocked out all the participants and won a passing grade with overwhelming speed. Afterward, it is depicted as if he returned to the game immediately, but was there actually a detour that was not depicted here? Killua, having acquired his long-awaited Hunter license. Driven by an impulse to show off his current self to the family that once failed him and from whom he fled, it is possible he temporarily returned home to Kokoro Mountain. Waiting for him there would be his grandfather, Zeno, who looked forward to his grandson's growth more than anyone. The current Killua has different eyes than before. Thanks to Bisky's guidance, he has acquired the power to see aura with Gyo. It is extremely likely that Zeno, seeing such a grandson, would say, "Oh, you've become a little better," and engage in a sparring match or a demonstration of his techniques. There, Zeno might have unleashed it. A glimpse of the countless dragons raining down from the sky. At that moment, Killua witnessed Dragon dive from the perspective of a nin user for the first time. Realizing this is Grandpa's serious power, the pinnacle of a mission. The reason for silence, defense mechanism through fear. Then, why didn't Killua tell Gon about that shock after returning to Greed Island? He could have excitedly told him, "I went back home and saw Grandpa's technique, and it was terrifying." Here, Ilumi's needle functions again. The fact of witnessing Dragon dive, an overwhelmingly superior power, implants fear in Killua. The needle amplifies that fear and whispers to him, "It is impossible for you. Do not get close to enemies you cannot beat. The world of your family is in a different dimension from yours." As a result of this intense self-denial and defense mechanism working, Killua unconsciously processed that memory as a taboo that should not be spoken of, or a fear that should be forgotten. That is why the topic never came up in conversation with Gon, and it settled at the bottom of his memory. Liberation from the curse and awakening. All the dots connected to form a line during the fight with Ramet in the Chimera Ant arc. Killua thrust his hand into his own head and finally pulled out that abominable needle. The act of pulling out the needle was not merely a power-up event. It was the work of returning the brain circuits distorted by his brother to normal, and integrating the sealed past memories with the knowledge he currently possessed. The reason Killua's movements improved dramatically the moment the needle was removed was due to the mental factor of being released from Ilumi's curse, as well as the removal of the limiter on his brain, reviving his inherent physical abilities and his sealed senses. And then came the night of the palace invasion. What was reflected in Killua's eyes as he looked up at the sky was not merely the light of aura. Faint memories of childhood, the despairing gap in power seen after the hunter exam, and now, his own resolve to fight to protect his friends. All of these connected, and that single phrase was spun. "This is Grandpa's Dragon Dive." He was able to correctly recognize and analyze his grandfather's power, which had once been pushed to the depths of his memory as an object of fear, from his current perspective. At that moment, Killua stood on the battlefield for the first time as an independent hunter, released from the curse of the Zoldyck family. Ilumi's needle. It was a distorted shield to protect Killua, but at the same time, it was a ruthless shackle that continued to steal his potential and memories.